gotta squat down to stay in frame here. So what I'm gonna do is go over this new water filter I got just recently. And I've said in previous videos that this is one of my least favorite tasks when it comes to backpacking. And I'm always looking for new ways to do it. So I went with this Grayl Geopress. I'm gonna give that a try. So I feel like most YouTubers have like some fancy knife or whatever to open their packages with. But for me, I just have this butcher knife that we never use. So maybe I'd add some sound effect or something and make it seem cool. So let's open this bad boy up. So my dog and cat are fighting. If you hear screeches and screams and rattling of collars, one of them's just trying to assert their dominance. Who knows what's going on. Pop open this bad boy here real quick. Probably some stuff I'm supposed to read. Oh yeah, the quick start guide that I'm sure you can see. But you know, I'm a guy. We'll save that for when we already ruined it. But I guess from my understanding, somehow this inner deal comes out. You use this thing as a cup, fill it with water, set this bad boy on top, and then press it down. So it almost works like those coffee presses that you can get, only I guess for water. And if you pay attention down here in the bottom is the filter. So I'm hoping that this process is right. And now that I think I figured it out, I'll look at the instructions. But to save you from boredom from sitting here having to watch me try this in my faucet, I'll tell you, my family and I, we're gonna go on a weekend getaway with some of our friends that we met down in Pensacola who now live up in the area. We are staying at a log cabin, so I'm gonna try to make it look as like backcountry, middle of nowhere as possible when I try this thing out. But just know, on the other side of the camera, it's gonna be this like massive log cabin with a jacuzzi and ping pong table, shuffleboard, big kitchen, comfy couch, fireplace. So yeah, don't feel too bad for me, because I'm living the life behind the lens. Let's go try it out.
The walls are looming, keep caving in on us. The waves keep forming, keep crashing in my thoughts. And when the time's right, we're gonna get all that's good. When the time's right, oh, when the time's right. Get inside the stream that we've always had. Oh, 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 gotta get inside that dream where it's all said. When the time is right.
Alright, I was double thinking about, or thinking twice about taking water out of that pond because I thought, well, it could be dirty or stagnant or whatever. And then I realized that I have the water filter to filter water that potentially could be dirty. So I'm a genius today. I learned immediately that it's best to have the lid on when you press down, because that hurt my hands a lot. But then if you just pop it open, it lets all the pressure out and it works great. So the taste was fine, no big deal. I did feel like it's a little bigger and bulkier than my Nalgene bottles, obviously, because it has a filter in it. And the weight with the filter combined with this cup is definitely a little heavier, but I'm more about convenience than I care about weight, so this is gonna be perfectly fine for me. I think later on tonight I'll go over some more stats and put that in right here. I'm gonna go keep working on this hike.
When the time is right.
Dangerous break. Oh. Okay, so that clip, or all those clips you just saw of me hiking, were not in fact on this trip. I didn't end up getting out and hiking while we were there. It rained the whole second day we were there. So that was kind of a bummer. Those were from Charleston Falls, where I was dipping the water bottle and drinking and whatever, talking. But the second part of this coming up is Joseph's reading some cards. We're playing Balderdash. If you ever played it, there's this one category where you have to like basically guess which description of the movie is correct by the title of the movie. So this one is Dangerous Break, and I gave 4 of them here. So why don't you let me know in the comments which one you think is actually the true description of Dangerous Break, 1 through 4. See you later. Oh yeah, don't judge me. My mom used to do this chocolate and peanut butter, like chocolate chips and peanut butter. Whew. It's good stuff. All right.
Dangerous Break. A group of college students on a backpacking trip uncover a drug smuggling operation. Dangerous Break. A thief is desperate to retrieve the stolen loot he dumped in a mailbox, but so are a few other people. Dangerous Break. Anne McPherson, a New York detective, realizes her husband is the A-Train Strangler. Dangerous Break. When 6 strangers meet in Panama City, spring break takes a dark turn when one washes up dead.
You are working.
I hear someone stomping in here. Maybe a T-Rex.
What does a T-Rex say?
Roar!
Yeah, dude. Guys, what is the one thing that reminds you the most of like your freshman year in high school?
In high school?
What would that be?
High school? Freshman year of high school? Oh.
So, in a previous video, I talked about the things that every backpacker needs for their first trip, and I mentioned my MSR Hyperflow water filter, and I love that thing. Like I'm having a hard time thinking that this bottle's gonna be better, this new bottle. The Hyperflow I think comes in at like 8 ounces if I looked it up right, and it qualifies as like ultralight. But if I'm taking this new filtration system, the Grayl Geopress, and that weighs about 1 pound I think on the nose, if I'm taking that and then exchanging it for at least 1 Nalgene bottle and then my 8 ounces of filter, we're not far off. I mean, 4 ounces or so off, but it's close enough that I think I'm willing to make that sacrifice. And by no means am I an ultralight backpacker. So if you're like me who loves getting gear, but you know the nerdy side of things, and people always want to know that stuff, I mean, I'm putting that out there for them. But for me, I want to bring gear that's going to make my day easier and more enjoyable on these hikes. My other thing, my last worry though, is the cartridge life. On the Grayl Geopress, I think it's good for something like 65 gallons. So that's fairly short, and I think the Hyperflow for myself probably lasted me, I think it says 1,000 gallons, but before I had to change the cartridge, I would venture to say maybe like 500 gallons. I have no idea, but I know I suck down water. So if you're wondering those sorts of information, or you care about that, there's the info for you, my best guesstimation. So you decide. I think it's a pretty cool product. I'm gonna use it, we'll find out. So for this video, that's the end. We had a great time hanging out with our friends. It's nice to get to see people again as if it's all back to normal. And that's the end of this video, Side River Co-op. I'm not sure what we'll do next, but it'll guarantee it'll have something to do with backpacking. See you in the next one. Move you out a little bit, you're hitting the wall. There you go, try that.
How much punctuation do you need for a plot summary?
Tom was like telling you where to pause and stuff like that.
I just thought that you really messed up. No, I'm doing fine.
Oh, but I'm gonna get this book out.
Dangerous Break. A thief is desperate to retrieve the stolen loot he dumped in a mailbox, but so are a few other people.